I did a research recently, and one of the things I found is that many of the Nigerian civil servants who are in charge of government places, government structures, and government efficient practices, right? They make a complaint that they are not enabled enough. They are not engaged enough. They are not allowed to do the job expected of them. And then you look at the Nigerian Civil Service Code. Many of them, sometimes you look at it and you ask yourself, do they even understand the job they're supposed to do? So a situation where the various arms of government, whether they're agencies, parastatals, or MDAs, as they might be called these days, whatever they are, if people do not understand the inherent contribution that they're supposed to do, a situation where civil servants no longer do the job, but aides of politicians do the job meant for the civil service to cohesively work so that the outcomes that we deserve for the kind of democracy we seek should be happening. In Nigeria, we have a situation where the psyche of a Nigerian has to be reviewed. How do I mean? We have the strong man mentality. We have the divide and rule mentality. We have the winner takes it all mentality. We see it play in our politics as subtly but as penetrative as it can be. In other words, when you create a society, a democracy that is defined by how much one person can take control of spaces, control of the mobilization, control of the resources, control of power, then we are no longer having a democracy. We do not need to deceive ourselves on that. In a country where gas, mineral resources, in the northern part of Nigeria, I mean, they're shipping a lot of lithium from northern part of Nigeria. We're seeing the gas wastage in Delta State, for example, from Ndukwa to Otu Jeremy to Isoko land. You see all of this waste happening. You go to other parts of Nigeria, Enugu, for example, that used to be known as a coal city. In China today, as we speak, they have understood that every form of civilization that has ever happened, every form of industrialization that has ever occurred, they never killed anyone. In parts of China, you will see where they allowed certain places to operate as coal energy-driven centers. There are other places that are empowered by wind energy production. There are other places empowered by electronic or electric means of generating electricity. In other places, too, you have where they use diesel or CNGs rather. In Nigeria, what do we have? How does it take a country 60 plus years and we cannot, in one city in Nigeria, in one village in Nigeria, in one community in Nigeria, say that there is electricity 24/7? A country like Nigeria, with oil and gas, we are rationing electricity. Who does that? A country with so much high solar power compared to any other countries you can think of, and yet we are complaining about electricity. The recent bill that has to, the electricity bill that was, put into space and supposed to be domesticated by various state governments. What are the various state governments doing? And this is where the citizens ought to understand their role in governance. It means you engage the process. It means you critique, you question. But we cannot use things like the Cyber Act crime to try to muzzle Nigerians. It's about criminality, it's about fraud online. It cannot affect the Nigerian Constitution, Section 22 and Section 39, that makes it clear that every Nigerian has a right to express their opinion because it is allowed. A situation where we are in a country where freedom of information, freedom of expression is being denied the citizen, that is not a democracy. We need to get that right. And we need to move beyond all of this conversation to understand that our next generation of young children should know that Nigeria is a country where agriculture is elevated. We don't have agriculture in this country. I mean, how do you have a country where food is scarce? Why must food be expensive? You look at the exchange rate in Nigeria. I mean, it's a shame to us. You look at visas, you want to apply for visas to other countries, and you ask yourself, how did we get, or how did I get to be in Nigeria, in a Nigerian space where I have to apply for visas to over 157 countries, or 127 countries, as the case may be? All because my government, the kind of governance we run in this country, makes us below par to others who should not even contest with us.